Good evening, and welcome to another cast of VRML Breachers. Today, we are casting Knights of Jerky and Extinction. My name is Martini, and today I have Old Gravy in the booth once again with me. How are you doing today? How are you doing today, Gravy?
You know, I'm hanging in there. You know, just got off work, and I'm happy that part of my day is done. So, you know,
hey man, day's over. We're just chilling with VR now. That's all it is, right?
I like that. So it's a lot better.
And hopefully, hey, we're going into week 4. So the matchups hopefully are a lot better in terms of closeness, I would say. So hopefully, you know, we'll see that today between Knights of Jerky and Extinction. Let's check out this matchup real quick. So just looking at these stats, Knights of Jerky, their record for this current season, 2-3. Extinction is 3-2-1. So, you know, just looking at pure stats right now, my guess is that Extinction might be the winning team here, considering how well they performed this season and this season alone. Because one thing to notice, I don't know if you noticed that, Gravy, Knights of Jerky has been around since season 0. And it's a team I've seen and casted a variety of times over the last couple of seasons. And Extinction is definitely a newer team. But I always say just because it's a newer team doesn't mean they're inexperienced, because it might be, you know, a team of experienced players, right?
They are, I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe that team Extinction is actually a rebrand from Dodo Reborn.
Dodo Reborn? I don't remember that one.
Team. They were in for a little bit, and I think they quit mid-season. I think that was around season 1, maybe a little bit into 2. But they were around. They were popping in and out and stuff. But I think they're rebranding now as Extinction.
Okay. Oh, I see. Dodo Reborn. Okay, I see. Interesting.
Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah, no, well, that's like one of the players on their team. But, you know, checking out the community votes, we could see that the community actually thinks it's actually going to be Knights of Jerky. I mean, 22 to Extinction's 4. So it'll be interesting to see who's right, the community, or just like statistics as we're seeing right now on the screen. So anything you're expecting to see today between these two, Gravy, or just kind of a normal matchup?
I'm expecting better matches because, of course, the last couple of weeks, the MMR wasn't necessarily established. So, you know, getting matched up with teams that you probably shouldn't have been getting matched up with probably was the case. But as they're evening out and teams are losing and teams are winning, it's evening out a little bit more. So, you know, now in week 4, we have more of a fair matchup. So I'm expecting a really good fight, really close. It's gonna be really hard on honestly what team to really vote for. I mean, there wasn't that many votes, I think, but then again, we're still early in the week. How much was there? Like 22 votes?
Yeah, 22-4. And you're right, it's Tuesday. You know, like there wasn't much time to vote on these two teams. It was like you did it last night or today. There was no in between, right? Let me tell the team we are streaming. whenever. And one thing to know, you know, they did give us the bans ahead of time. Looks like they are banning Ship and Arctic, the 2 reworked maps, funny enough, which I found interesting. Do you find those choices interesting? Because I feel like I would expect something like Dam, because I know a lot of teams hate that. But maybe, you know, people expect people not to play on Dam, which is funny enough because we just talked, and I think you say Brecht utilizes Dam a good amount. So do you find the Ship and Arctic you know, redact that. No one's gonna notice that on this 1.5 hour cast, right?
You're right.
Right. Anyway, yeah, Ship and Arctic, right?
I feel like a lot of teams actually like Dam though. Dam is just actually a really fun map, and I haven't seen that much hate for it. I really haven't. I just think people are a little scared of it, and they're warming up to it though, because now more and more people are playing it, and I feel like more people are like, okay, this map's actually fun.
You know, yeah, I think Philippa's called it out. Like a lot of people at the beginning of the map's life cycle just come in and they just like you know, bash on it and hate it, but really it's just because of inexperience.
Yeah, they gotta develop a meta.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it. I was kind of shocked that Dam had so much hate. I can see it being different. You know, some of the areas feel so wide, right? Like some of the sites just have huge lines of sight, so much to kind of deal with and worry about. They utilize some of those air vents a little bit differently than some of these other maps do. But I find it interesting, you know. And this is like a different kind of openness compared to like Arctic, at least, but like older Arctic, where it was like kind of these longer, kind of wide map setups. But Dam was just so open. Looks like they are gonna be choosing Factory for their first choice. I'm wondering if this is just gonna be an original 3 you know, map choices, because it feels like that already. You know, we're going into Factory, probably Hideout next, and then maybe finish off on Skyscraper. That is my guess for the night. I'd be shocked if someone chose Dam, but hey, that would be a welcome surprise. But anyways, looks like we are gonna be hopping in right into Factory. You know, thankfully it wasn't too long of a wait for us between these 2 teams.
At least it is on defense, so you're not gonna have the bot running straight into sight.
Yeah. Man, I think I was watching that Wrecked and Acer game, and there's a game like that where someone disconnected and the bot runs straight into sight because it had the EMP. It was like Jim or something like that, and I was just like, man, that sucks. It is the worst when not just that you have a bot and someone disconnects, but the bot bum rushes on their own, and especially because they have the EMP, right? They have the EMP, they're gonna wanna run in and rush that site and plant it themselves because bots are crazy. But hey, they are trying their best, right? Even in league matches, they are trying their best. But yeah, looks like we are gonna be getting started on this first floor on Factory. Between these 2 teams. It looks like Extinction is going to be starting off the first round without a 5th player. So hopefully Knights of Jerky. You know, whenever I see something like this happen on a team, I personally say, hey, let's rush it. They have a numbers disadvantage already. I think we should take advantage of that as soon as possible, because the longer they wait, the more likely that person's going to spawn in, right?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. And it looks like that's the case that they're going to be doing. They already have that full storage control and foam on the wall. So now it's just really about them getting ready to spring this trap on them, which does look like they're going to do. Throwing detail into back of sight behind B. And the Extinction team is going to go ahead and try to go ahead and wait for that. And you got people all tucked in different corners, different sides. You see a trade there with Soybean and Munch being able to go ahead and pick up Mozzie, leading us to a 3v4. Mighty able to go and get 1, get 2, leaving this into a 2v1 situation with the bot. Count the bot. Alright, does look like Resmi Chris does pick that off, but it is a 1v1 with 1 HP.
Oh!
Chris was able to do it. Thank goodness. If the bot killed him on 1 HP.
I know, but honestly, if a bot were to get a league match kill, that would have been it. The one time it's like a person on 1 HP. I'm gonna be honest, like that person's lucky the bot did not detect them, because I don't know if you've had those moments where a bot just domes you from like a mile away.
Around and do that. Like they're just like, oh, you're over there? Yeah. Turns around, snaps to your head, dead. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, definitely solid start off for Knights of Jerky, and it looks like the Extinction player not coming in yet. This is the time to really, you know, kind of keep that pressure up and keep it going. even with the numbers disadvantage, though, Extinction doing a pretty good job. I mean, it came down to a 1v1 with their bot, right? So definitely not an impossibility for Extinction to really hold out the next upcoming rounds. Looks like the bot Daniel going a little aggressive with that all rail in hand. As we know, that is the best game in the gun, period. And they're about to wipe the whole Nice and Jerky team with that all rail. Oh, man. You know, this is a moment where I wonder, would it be better to just kill your bot and take their all rail?
Yeah. I guess in this case, yeah, that probably would be the best decision. Maybe they're hoping that their teammate's going to join back and get gifted a nice Earl, but yeah, honestly, I would do that too if they're like taking a little too long and being a little slow. I'd be like, give me that free gun, you know? But yeah, we're seeing a partial buy come from Knights of Jerky with the one Vezin and Omen. Omen getting a little love there. And yeah, they have full lockers control very quickly, very early. It looks like that drone did a very good job of getting that information for them. And they were able to go ahead and get some foam on that wall and take full control of that site. And they're going to go ahead and blow up that other wall as well, which is going to give them very great sandwiching abilities onto site. They're going to go ahead and pinch and get some kills from both directions and quickly get the EMP planted as well. Wow, and they already have someone up there on a hatch. This is going to be very, very difficult for the Extinction team to come back from. Very, very difficult. Even if you had numbers advantage, eco advantage, getting those kills off of that hatch and getting the defuse is not an easy task by any means.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the Knights of Jerk, they got the setup. Monch checking out that EMP. I mean, a 3v3 situation. I can still say it's technically anyone's game, but I mean, this hatch is really hard, especially for some of the low. Never mind, as Monch wipes them with, I think, that Omen in hand. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, was that 3? Let's see if we can get that replay real quick. I might have did that a little too late there. But Monch getting a really good pick there, 2-piece there with their third being picked up by their teammate. And I was just about to say, hey, you know, maybe Extinction might be able to work something out, but at the same time, those hatch plays, even at the top, you know, master tier level, it's still difficult, right? Like that advantage in terms of be able to kind of duck in and out. You know that they have to put their hand on that EMP. It's just a very difficult situation to be in, and there's not really much you can do to combat against it. But yeah, Knights of Jerky off to a really good start. I mean, 2 points off of the start with 2 on the offensive side. You know, on top of that, they are definitely taking full advantage of the bot being on the other team. At this point, Extinction is probably trying to really drag. If I were them, I would try to drag out the rounds as long as possible if they know a player is coming in later. Because I wonder, whenever I see a 4v5 situation, I'm always wondering, you know, is it because they just didn't have time? Is there actual like problems with their headset that they can get resolved at some point, or are they just out for the whole night? And if they're out for the whole night, you can't do anything. There was a 5? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they did have 5, but they may have just be having some connection issues maybe with their headset, because yeah, I did see that there was 5. But now they're gone. So yeah, if I was on the Knights of Jerky team, I would be kicking my feet and be all excited right now. Very free rounds.
Yeah, I gotta say, Knights of Jerky too, they've been able to take these sides pretty consistently. I haven't seen too much either roaming or even extended roaming pressure from the Extinction team yet.
Yeah, no, it looks like they're just trying to play very safe with that 4v5 and trying to play the very safer route, maybe bait their bot a little bit if they can. But yeah, it's really hurting them. We saw the last 2 rounds, they were just able to go ahead and just fully pick apart the people on site and get their EMP down very quickly. It does look like they're going to be taking advantage of this again and pushing in very quickly. They already have the hatch control alone. They already made their way to the bottom of orange. Now it's just a matter of time if they're going to get the foam down on that wall and getting that EMP planted down. They already killed bot Daniel.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4v5 situation. Not looking good for the Extinction side, but I mean, in terms of time wasting, they're doing pretty good. It's a whole minute and a half in. That's almost, you know, taking up the whole round left. Only a minute left in the round. X-Guy getting a pick off on Dark Raven there. And it looks like it's going to be a slow push from the Knights of Jerky. They got to do something. They got to put some pressure here. They're pretty much even right now. Slowby Nevermind gets knocked down by Resmi Chris. And it looks like they're going in for another pick that I think they got that Vezin in hand. And they are going to be trying to go in for a third here. They do swing that. They get that. Unfortunately, no, they do not get that. There's a frag coming out, but it doesn't really work as Munch tries to finish it up. It comes down to Modzy Rodzy as they are kind of stuck in that room there. And they try to swing that, but Munch almost finishing it up. I don't know. I'd be so tempted to run in there, but Incendiary is definitely holding both sides out from playing into that server room.
Yeah, absolutely. They already threw down the instant as well, just to kind of like apply some pressure and keep them offside a little bit, which I guess was useful. But in the case of a 4v1, I don't think an instant is necessary. You can probably get away with saving that. Yeah, they instantly got the plant down, instantly went into post plant positions as you have someone all the way up there they're actually repelled outside by that window. Oh, they're actually going on the roof now. But then you also had that other person on the back window. Got people all over. So, getting that all those kills in different spots with different angles and getting the EMP diffused. Yeah, probably the best choice is to go ahead and save that Omen from Modzy with 5 HP.
Yeah, definitely looking rough for the Extinction side. I mean, I don't even know what can he do at this point, right? Do you play into a more aggressive defense knowing you have a bot on the other side, or do you really kind of hunker down and hold it down? And I think that's what we're seeing, coming out from the Extinction side. I'm not sure it's going to be working out for them, but at the same time, it's risky, right? Like, you require your team to be that much better at anchoring if you do utilize something like a roamer or someone who's a little bit more extended from these sides, right? So I get it. It's a lot easier mentally to just kind of anchor down and really hope for the best. But it hasn't really been working out. I think if they do apply pressure externally against Knights of Jerky, it might actually work out better for themselves. And remember, they don't have to be crazy on the picks. They can kind of come out, apply pressure, and then peel off. And I think people forget that because some people think, oh, I got to like really apply pressure and get the picks. But, applying pressure, I think, is sufficient enough because then it forces the enemy team to clear you out sometimes. And that wastes a lot of time, especially now we have 30 seconds left in the round, right, for these attacking halves.
Yeah, and especially if they're going to be pushing in all fast and aggressive like that, that'd be a really great time to punish that, with a nice roam, right? They get all asphyxiated on pushing side and, because it's a 4v5, that they're not really checking their back too much, which would be very, very good in the situation, but it doesn't look like they're going to be roaming at all. It looks like they're going to be doing the same thing that they did in round 1, hiding in the corners, waiting for the push to come to them. And we see an S-tier frag coming from Flighty, and we see lots and lots of picks coming out from the Knights of Jerky team as they're going to go ahead and take full control of the B side. But X-Guy and Munch on the other side of these blue containers right now, I don't think they know that there's someone on the other side. Munch does know now, and does get picked off by X-Guy, who does get a 2-piece, leaving this into a 2v2 situation. But however, he's going to have to go ahead and work off that time because they are on a time crunch. Their EMP is planted.
Yeah, I mean, a 2v1 situation, even with that health disadvantage, it's rough. Like, how does this person approach it? How does Modzy decide to push this? And it looks like they're going to play very aggressive as Numbskull's ready for it as they do push them. Unfortunately, that swinger gets swung, and they got swung themselves on the swing. That was a weird way of saying that, but anyways, it looks like that does give Knights of Jerky another round in the pocket there. And it's looking healthy. Like, they're looking really healthy right now. Checking out this economy. I mean, they have a fully outfitted team. They still have a fair amount of cash still in hand. So even if things don't work out for them in the next 2 rounds, they'll be fine on the upcoming round. But it looks like Extinction really utilizing that losing bonus, right? They still have a solid economy, but it's kind of hard because you can only buy so much when you're getting that, like 2,500 a round or something like that. So they're not looking bad, but it's not looking great either. And this might be a quick game, at least for the quick map, as it looks like we're already rushing towards the second half. And it looks like Knights of Jerky already 4-0 on the attacking half. Remember, this is them attacking. It's only going to get worse, especially with the bot on that on their own attacking half, right? So when they have that halftime switch and Knights of Jerky is now defending, it might just be a run. It might be a rush all the way to 7-0, to be quite honest here. But who knows? Who knows? I've seen crazier things happen. I want to see something come crazy out of the Extinction. Maybe get a clip of the week for Gravy here for Extinction. That'd be great. But we'll have to see what happens here, right?
It's actually bot Daniel who gets it too. Just absolutely wipes the entire team. Gets an
ace. Yeah, and it looks like we are seeing an aggressive push here as Knights of Jerky going on a double hatch play, going straight into the second floor as they almost died from that. But Soybean getting a beautiful wall bang there. Lots of shots coming out here as Munch trying to get some shots here, and I think Soybean trying to get another pick off. But it looks like they are going in for the plant there. But X-Guy able to get a pick off in the end.
all up to Dark Raven, who was able to go ahead and fend off one defender. It does look like they were able to go ahead and get the defuse. They did not want bot Daniel to go ahead and defuse it. I'm surprised bot
Yo, I'm dead!
survive that entire round. But yeah, they wanted the extra points, not Daniel. So, but yeah, if I was this Extinction team, I would definitely be cherishing that round win there, and also be spamming my teammates and pinging all of my teammates available, saying, "Hey, someone get in here right now. What's going on?" But yeah, someone is definitely probably in trouble.
That or hitting a league sub, something like literally. I think
yeah, you know?
I think anything's better than this bot Daniel this one. I mean, like, let's check out bot Daniel rocking a 0-5 KD. Obviously not doing much. The score is literally 0. I mean, that's as low as it gets in terms of this game. Might as well go negative at this point, right, for a TK. But I don't think they can do those.
Yeah, if you're a sub right now and you're watching the chat, you better go to message them. Get in there.
Yeah, hop on, get Extinction a couple dubs. Try to get yourself clip of the week on this cast. You never know what's gonna happen. But hey, league subs. Anyone out there, hop on. Extinction needs some help here. But nice of Jerky, definitely eating well. But I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked they got that round. To be honest, it was I think. You know what it was? You know what it was? They did a double jump hatch, and you know I hate those jump hatches.
It's true. It was risky, but no one was actually in those rooms. It made their drop a little bit.
Right. Until they died.
Until they died. That whole push, it's just so unorthodox. That round really could have gone either way. They already took out the bot Daniel, but Dark Raven being taken out as well, and then it's a Jerky team and some trip mines. Looks like trip mines got a kill. On Dark Raven. Love to see a good trip mine kill. And we are going into a 4v4. Flighty going to go ahead and take out Launch, leading us into a 4v3. Resmi Chris getting the pick of his own, turning this back into an even fight. Flighty being able to get another pick, turning them into their advantage. See if they can go ahead and turn this defensive round on their favor. But Modzy right here on the flank, about to spring the trap and catch Isma lacking, and then possibly go ahead and get the second. As Flighty goes ahead and takes advantage of that distraction to go ahead and spring the kill of his own. Very well done by the Extinction team.
That was just a beautiful, beautiful retake, I think, of that storage side, as they had one person coming in, got that distraction, and then that follow-up by their teammate. I got the replay right on there. That was a beautiful, beautiful push there from the Extinction side. And hey, I would say not all hope is lost. I mean, a 4-2 is not impossible to recover from. It's not going to be easy considering they're on their attacking half, and their bot is basically just going to be wiped immediately. But we saw them hold up the 4v5, a variety of times against Nice Jerky. We've seen, Extinction does have a solid track record this season, so it's not an impossibility that they can come back, especially if they do happen to get somebody in on the second half, right? Hopefully there's been enough time for one of their teammates to come in, hopefully from dinner or something. I don't know what they're doing, but something. So hopefully someone can come in here. But that is to say that it will be an uphill battle regardless. They got to beat, Knights of Jerky for the next 4 or 5 rounds if they want to win this one out. So it's not impossible, but I don't know if I would be a betting man on the Extinction team right now, with Knights of Jerky coming into this second half with 4-2.
Yeah, and as we're seeing coming out of this Jerky squad, they actually have a roamer. We didn't see a single roamer come out of the Extinction team, but let's see if Resmi Chris can go ahead and get some value because of that. And they already got a pick as well on Daniel. Daniel just pretty much ran in there and gave him the free pick. So now they're stuck again on that 4v5 situation. Very unfortunate being on the attacking with a bot again, Martini. That's just very, very unfortunate. But yeah, they looks like they're going to be doing the normal orange push. They got full control of that side there. They're made their way down already and doing the very risky drop patch. As we talk about, dropping the patches can be very, very risky. I feel like it'd be safer just to make your way down the stairs, but to each their own. They're already going to go ahead and start that EMP plant. Dark Raven able to go ahead and get one pick to stop that EMP plant. However, was slowly able to go ahead and get refragged, but Resmi Chris bringing that kill up top. Now he's able to go to watch that EMP, and they're not going to be able to easily get that EMP planted. But now it's a 2v1 situation. So now they're going to have to probably work their way up together. Modzy will probably group up with Flighty to go up those stairs and take it at 2v1. But Modzy's going to go ahead and give him the 1. He's going to stay down there while Flighty goes ahead and does a 1v1. Or maybe he's going to go ahead and use it as a bait to see if he turns around for the EMP.
Ooh, timing is going to be the deal here, and
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yep, Modzy went ahead and used that as bait to go ahead and distract the person up on hatch, and that was perfect for the person upstairs. Yeah, honestly, that was a good play. That was pretty smart. Hopefully, they coordinated that. I want to say they did. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I would be shocked if they didn't.
Would you have done that, or would you have taken the 2v1?
I think that one. But if I were the person up top, I would have played a little bit more, I think, back, maybe some like vending machine. But it's a hard situation, right? Because you know the likelihood of them, because there's two situations, right? They either do, if someone were to bait it, either they can have someone on the bottom watching you to ready to shoot it, or someone ready to swing the trap coming up the staircase. So it's hard. I think I've seen some really good approaches where someone is on hatch. If they hear the bait go off, they commit. They commit to hatch, get the pick, and run off. Because then you don't know where the person is after that, right? But that's still risky, right? Because you don't know where the second player is, and that's the hardest part, that you don't know where that second player is. Right. And at 2v1, it's just very difficult, right? I don't know. It was a good play though. I think I would have done that. Definitely use that bait. But I think it can be risky. If it had been a different team, that bait might have gotten them picked, because you know for sure one player is now on that EMP, right?
Right. I think that's just a little too risky for me. I would have just pushed 2 people.
2-0. Yeah,
like
2-1.
That's just like the simplest thing that people would most likely do. So I'm gonna go that easy route most likely, because think about it, right? If that person was going up the stairs and he didn't look at the EMP, he got that 1v1. Now it's a 1v1 situation. All they have to do is just go hunt down that last person and then defuse the bomb.
That's true.
So, it would have been a lot harder to win a 2v1 situation with 2 people full health, baiting each other or something to go ahead and get that last kill, because you can still win by kills. You don't have to plant the MP. That's not necessary.
That's true. And I think, was there like a minute left in a round? So they had a fair amount of time. It wasn't an impossibility. But anyways, it looks like Knights of Jerky getting a really important first round, early round pick. It was the Vezin. Unfortunately, they could not recover it. Wait, is this the third round? Is this assault rifle round? Am I blind or something? There's like 3 assault rifles on Extinction's side, but there's like none. Is this assault rifle or second round? 8. This is the second.
This is the assault rifle round.
Oh, okay. Whoa, what is going on with the Knights of Jerky economy there? What is going on?
Well, they lost last round.
Oh, did they commit with a hero buy?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Did they? Maybe they're saving this round. I'm not too sure. I didn't pay attention. I'm gonna be honest.
Now I'm confused. We need a replay on the eco choices from the last 2 rounds. But anyways, it looks like Extinction off to a rough start here, as it's now a 3v5. Granted, that health economy not looking good for the Knights of Jerky players, but they can still make something out of this. But again, that 30-second timer is making a difference here. Check it out. 30 seconds left in a round. They got to push this, or they got to go for the save. And I feel like the pressure is a little too high for this 3v5 that I might just save if I were personally them.
Well, maybe. I mean, I guess they probably don't know what their economy was. They probably could have gotten a singular Vezin. Maybe Monch could have bought one. Maybe a couple more buys. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe there's like more. They think there's more Vezins on site, but only if they knew, right?
This is 3 Vezins versus Spectral.
Yeah.
This is a heavily disadvantaged round for Knights of Jerky, and it somehow worked out for them.
I mean, if I knew this information, yeah, I probably would have pushed that. 2 of them being low, but you don't think that maybe they have stems or something, and you got 3 Vezins, right? If you look at this the way that we're looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll push that any day of the week.
Right. I mean, 3 Vezins.
Thinking,
yeah.
There's probably a little bit more.
Well, you saw me like assault rifle round. I would have been like, oh, they have Vezins. Like that would make the most sense. Yeah. But funny enough, that was wrong.
They're really good poker stars,
they definitely bluffed it so hard that Extinction pulled off 3 Vezins against 4-5, but the health economy being bad, it's insane. Funny enough, you're right. I'm so curious. There's another universe where they made that push and they won it, right?
You're right. Yep, in another dimension, they got the win, and then, you know, possibly win this map. I mean, it's still pretty close. You know, I'm not gonna go ahead and say anything yet. It can still go either which way, as we're seeing another full buy come from, actually a fully full buy this time from both teams, because again, Night the Jerky did not commit fully. They only had an RCP, which, in my opinion, would not be the best pick. Always go Omen or Ural.
Yeah, I'm seeing some interesting choices here. But we see not one but two. Oh, sorry, burping there. Maruli's coming out from the Knights of Jerky side. Definitely off meta. Assault rifle there, but it might work out. Never mind. Dark Raven on the top getting that pick off on that roaming play. I did not even see that one coming. As it looks like they might be peeling off there. So Knights of Jerky again off to a good start. They have 2 players down. Granted, one of them is the bot on the Extinction side. And again, this is one of those moments. It's hard. Do you make the push again? Do you wait? Do you wait it out and give them another round? Because the thing is, if they give them another round, they can't win this. They can only tie this or lose this for the Extinction team, right? Because they're about to get a 6-3 here if they do nothing about it. But it looks like we might be seeing a push coming out here from the Extinction team now. But it looks like they are going to be shut down by the Knights of Jerky side, at least on that hatch, that Incendiary is coming out.
Yeah, it does look like that roamer is going to go ahead and bank back with their team and just bank that extra kill that they were able to get. I mean, I don't necessarily count their bot Daniel as a really necessarily an important kill. They're pretty much going to die every single time. So turning that 4v5 though into a 3v5, now that is something I would bank for sure. They're going to go ahead and go right back to site. And Dark Raven's actually going to be coming up through the bottom. So we got another lurk. We're going to go ahead and potentially get some kills right onto Flighty. And Dark Raven is going to go ahead and bank that kill as well. It doesn't look like they're going to be... Never mind. They're going to be sticking around a little bit longer. Maybe they're going to go ahead and try to get another one. But yeah, now we're left in a... So you were able to go ahead and actually get 1 kill. So now it's a 4v2. All up to Modsy and X-Guy. Playing a little bit separated here. Got no one on the hatch either to go ahead and watch their run up or swing. But they are able to go ahead and get a pick of their own, make that a double, leaving it into a 2v2 situation. A little bit of a low HP, and they have to get that EMP down. X-Guy is going to go ahead and start that EMP. Modsy's going to go ahead and swing. Take a little bit of damage. They're going to go ahead and get X-Guy. Double swung and got Modsy. That could have been a little bit dangerous there. They got Monch pretty low, but if they were to hit the head instead of doing a little bit of just damage, that would have been a double kill, and they could have gotten that defuse. In another universe, right, Martini?
In another universe, Extinction would have won that one. Also, I'm just kidding. We're like, was it like Doctor Strange, just kind of weaving through all the multiple realities that might have come up there. But it doesn't matter, because in this current reality, Knights of Jerky coming in 6-3 for the upcoming rounds. Hopefully they can finish this one out. And it looks like we might be going into a 7-3. Might be a 7-3 on that first map, which is pretty solid. Pretty solid performance. But again, I will acknowledge there is a bot on the Extinction side. And I will say, like, they've done a pretty good job. I mean, 6-3 with the bot, and there's a variety of rounds where it came down to a 1v1 or 1v2 sort of situation. So credit to the Extinction players, as they are definitely putting up the numbers to really support themselves here. I mean, let's see some of the players here. You can't really see it on this cast, unfortunately, right now. But Resmi Chris on the Knights of Jerky side, 10-4, 10-5. So really good showing from out those players. On the other side, Extinction, 10-6 and 8-5. So pretty solid stats coming up from both teams. I really do think that bot is just making that big of a difference here,
Daniel,
right?
Killer KD, 0-9.
hey, Daniel has 72 score now. Finally has something coming out here. Probably some assist damage coming out there in the end. But does not matter, as it looks like we're gonna be seeing some faster push coming out from the Extinction players. They got to do something different this round. Otherwise, we are going to be seeing a Knights of Jerky win, at least for map 1.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be going ahead and start their push. Maybe they're going to be trying to bait Daniel, possibly, as Daniel looks a little lost and confused. He's actually using, if you go to him right now, it looks like he's using a little bit of wall hacks. He's aiming at the other players through the floor, which I think is pretty funny.
Oh my god!
Did you notice that?
Yeah. Let's not even talk about that. All right, looks like the Extinction players coming in, and they already picked off Resmi Chris, giving them a pretty solid advantage already, or not early in the round, midway through the round at this point, as they now are committing to the room, getting ready for this breach, and looks like frag going out. Does get a little bit of chip damage there on Dark Raven, but not that much. Flighty Settler does see the edge of their leg, almost getting caught out by the Incendiary there. That was a beautifully placed Incendiary, almost what, S-tier Incen? Whatever, it doesn't matter. That S-tier frag in the back there does pick off Numbskull.
Yeah, I don't see a single health syringe from the Extinction team. Flighty might as well just bait for his team at that moment. You know, just kind of push in there, maybe try to get the EMP down for them. Try to be somewhat useful in any case. That nade barely missing him. If that was just maybe a little bit more forward, could have gotten some damage. Oh, and another one. Same thing, same spot. Very missed getting out of there. But yeah, looks like they were able to go and get the EMP down. Even with that low HP, they were indeed useful. So yeah, they have 5 up. Even bot Daniel is going to go ahead and hit the flank and see if they can go ahead and get
I saw that. Everyone's on hatch. Bot Daniel on the flank. I would be shocked if they get the pick here, but this might be the time.
Yeah, it's going to be a very hard defuse to go ahead and pull off. Able to get 2, 3. And does get taken out by Motzi. Wow, Isma Nico actually started to surprise me there for a second. I was on the edge of my seat right there, Martini.
I mean, yeah, was that a 2-piece? Almost finishing up with a third. That would have been a round win, because honestly, that bot Daniel in the back, I thought was going to do a flank play, but they ended up doing nothing, which would have been crazy. But unfortunately did nothing. But no, it's Monaco, I mean, coming in with a 2-piece, almost a 3. They probably figured, I got 2 people on the hatches, probably most of them. Also, like, time was coming down. I don't know if you heard it, but like the timer was ticking down pretty fast. It's hard at that point. Do you bait for a third time and hope that you get another piece, or just commit?
Yeah. At that point, I don't know. I'd save. I'd probably save it, considering now they're all buying omens. You know, it's not like everyone else has the eco to really be buying Vezins. You know, a Vezin right now could be very useful for them, because then they could buy the omen for much, for example, right?
That's true.
That's probably what I would have done. You know, you're in a 2v5 situation and they have the hash plan. I would just give them the round at that point. I would just go downstairs or something and just hide. But yeah, they still put on a pretty good show and had me at the edge of my seat, though. I'm not gonna lie. They were able to get some nice picks. And if they turned that around and got that win, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate. I don't know if you noticed, the frag was so close to landing on that EMP planter. If it had, this might have been a very different round. But again, we are not Doctor Strange. We can't really predict all these futures here, as the one we did see happen here. Anyways, it looks like Extinction trying to have their slow start.
They're trying to bait Daniel, but Daniel is very confused right now.
He's a little nervous. They're a little nervous.
All right, he's going to go ahead and take some space into sight. In fact, he's going to take a bunch of sight. And never mind, he's going to go back out again. He's a little scared. He's a little nervous. And here he goes. Nope.
Yeah, that's why I always say you gotta watch your butt when you're squatting and you're next to a wall, because it is likely to clip. It is very likely to clip. And it looks like they do get that shot through the wall. Daniel does get finished off in the end there, unfortunately, as they had a valiant effort there in the end. It didn't quite do much.
Alright, does look like they're going to start making their move as they have that wall blown up and we're in a even 4v4 situation. They do have the health advantage, however they don't have the gun advantage. And now Isma Nico taking some damage for herself as well. So this is going to be a very close round. There doesn't look like they're going to be taking much space. It looks like they're going to be going for a rotate right now. Mozzie's going to go ahead and make some noise. And they're faking the rotate. Or were they grabbing EMP? What was that?
I don't know. I thought a rotate was happening, but Modsy has the EMP, so they can't rotate.
Okay. They fake the rotate. And yeah, they're able to go ahead and take out one, get refragged. X guy is able to grab the other one, and it's all up to Isma and a 1v2 situation. Flighty is a 1 headshot kill away from dying. X guy probably 2. I'd say 2 still. 1 in a body shot. And Isma's actually gonna go ahead and take a little bit of space, maybe. Ooh, yeah. If X guy was a little bit more low, that would have been a one-tap headshot, and that would have been one of their Vezins down. Could have been very good economically for them as well.
Yeah, I mean,
now
this
Extinction won that and got the MP down. So yeah, they're gonna be looking very good this round.
I'm kind of shocked, honestly. This is looking like a different Extinction than the previous round. It looks a little more tense on their defending half, which is funny. But they look a lot more informed now coming into this upcoming round. Definitely those Vezins are doing a lot of work for themselves as they've been able to hold off, I think, a good amount of them this whole time. But Nice and Jerky, on the other hand, they've been struggling with their economy. You know, we've seen a variety of times where they kind of stuck with those omens in hand. We saw that one round, which they, you know, somehow won, funny enough. That assault rifle round where they had no Vezins, right? And so we've been seeing some struggles with economy that I think are exacerbating some of the problems we're seeing here. Because it is a close game, but it's how close can a game be when, you know, a full team of Vezins is consistently coming in round after round when your team, you know, they're rocking omens, they're rocking spectrals. Like, what can you do against that, right?
You're gonna have to just pray for the best, kill the bot, and hopefully your 4v5 situation is for the better, right? And we actually have Daniel again, looking a little confused down in the bathroom. I'm really rooting for Daniel, guys. I really am. He's 0-10. I want him to go ahead and get his first kill. But he's going to go ahead and actually draw out some noise and go to the other side. But yeah, very bad.
Very short-lived. Very short-lived.
They had the cross on him. That's not fair. He had a good idea, though. You know, a nice little flank right there on a site that's not very common. Probably should have waited a little bit longer, though.
He actually did get pretty far in there. Pretty far in there. No one knew. But also, you know, bots do have wall hacks, so it's a little different. It's a little different.
It's true, and they knew exactly where to go. Alrighty, so it does look like the drone is going to go ahead and get some good information. Realize that there is some trips right there, and that they can go ahead and take orange stairs, which they did. Flighty is going to take some damage through the wall right there. He's going to go ahead and get that breaching foam down. Flighty looking very low. And the rest of the team is going to be up there on that hatch still. They don't have any roamers to worry about, but maybe they don't know that, and that's why they're scared to go downstairs and, you know, group up with the team and, you know, start doing their push. But yeah, we're down to a minute now, right? And they have not done too much to get the foam on that wall. And Isma, with the Cadillo, be able to get the headshot off on Flighty, taking out that window.
Yeah, this is
very, very useful.
This is definitely the do or die round. I mean, they got 40 seconds left in the round. It's a 3v5 situation, but we've seen Extinction come back from these sort of plays before. So it's not an impossibility. They know, I think, where Isma is in terms of where they got the pick from, but we'll have to see if they can act on that knowledge. But look at that EMP. You know, is Mozzie Rod's going to be able to go in and get the EMP planted, or are they going to wait this round out? Yeah, it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, 5 people up. Now they're taking a little bit of space. They got one. And Mozzie's going to go ahead and heal back up. And X-Guy been able to get the second. Not a very good instant. That's going to get too much value. Numbskull getting the double kill. And Dark Raven going to go ahead and sweep up that last kill to get that refrag to give Knights of Jerky their first map win against Extinction.
Yeah, definitely a good showing from the Knights of Jerky players there. But I will say Extinction also putting up a good job themselves, right? We'll have to see if they can bring in that 5th player for that upcoming round. Otherwise, even if they didn't, they put up a good game. I mean, 7-5 considering it's a 4v5 for the Extinction players. I'd be feeling very confident, right? All it takes is just putting the same, whatever they did in that second half, what a performance they were putting out there, that confidence they showed in that second half. If they can do that in these upcoming 2 games, they can come back. It's not impossible. We saw them win several rounds back to back, you know, good showing from them. So we'll have to see if they can do it in the upcoming rounds between these 2 teams. But how are you feeling about these 2 teams? Do you think it's still, you know, Knights of Jerky's game? I mean, community votes has said it would be on them. The bots, you know, making it kind of hard for the Extinction players. What are you thinking?
But I'm thinking if they had their 5th player, we'd be seeing a different outcome right now.
Do you think it would have swung it really hard? Like, really hard?
Not really hard, but I think it would have gone in the Extinction's favor. Being able to make it that close in a 5v4, I mean, having an extra player is so detrimental. It makes all the difference. Yeah, just bot Daniel, getting in there and not getting a single kill or really much any damage wasn't very useful at all to them. So having another person with an actual brain definitely is gonna be going there.
I don't know. I mean, I saw Daniel, have some sneaky plays into the back of sight, and I mean, they got domed off there, but I mean, 72 score, that is definitely commendable for any bot in a competitive game, right? But it looks like, anyways, the teams will be taking a 10-minute break. So we'll be back in a bit. What's up?
To hopefully get their 5th in.
Yeah, it looks like they are trying to get their 5th in. Anyways, we'll be going on an we'll be going on an intermission break. We'll see y'all in about 10 minutes. But we'll be right back. Welcome back, welcome back. Looks like we are going into our next upcoming round, and just as we mentioned, it looks like they did pick up their 5th player. Looks like it will be the, I will not be saying that name on cast. I will the Jizzler, whatever. It looks like we'll be starting Dam in this upcoming map. I mean, if it's okay to be, do they go by that on the VRML side? If they do, then I will say their name on cast.
I mean they do, but I'm calling him
the Sizzler. The Sizzler. The Rizzler. The Rizzler.
Oh my god.
You guys only get one of those for me. Otherwise, he'll be known as a Sizzler for me. I don't know. I try to keep my VRML cast clean. I'll say that. I'll try to keep this stuff clean. But yes, the Sizzler will be the name. I'm so sorry. We will, for obvious reasons, be saying your name a little bit differently than it is spelled out.
He's like, damn it, I changed it for nothing.
Right. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those, like, if it's okay in the VRML website, I guess it doesn't matter. But I don't know. I'll talk to Knife Fires.
Right, we already gave him way too much more attention.
That is true. That is
probably
true.
Need, so. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and start this push here from Extinction. They're going to be going through the top hatch, going ahead and blowing that, but they're all going to be... Okay, looks like they're all going to be just dropping the hatch. Very risky, as we've already mentioned before, Martini. We are not fans of hatch dropping, so it's mostly good for shooting feet and scaring the enemy, but they're dropping it. And being able to go ahead and get a kill on Recipe Chris.
Not even Sizzler? Dang, at least give it like some pizzazz.
Alrighty. But yeah, we're able to go ahead and get another 2 picks. So leaving this into a 5v3 already. So they're gonna go ahead and get that EMP down very so easily. And it looks like they're gonna go ahead and be on that defensive hold. So all postponed. X-Guy, we could be watching the flank. Modsy watching the corner. However, this Knights of Jerky team is taking space back. Then it is all up to Modsy, being able to get 2, get 3, triple kill coming out from Modsy to stop that Knights of Jerky push and getting that defuse. Wow, go ahead and get a replay on that one, Martini.
Yeah, I was able to manage that replay. You got Modsy in the back there, just really holding it down. Probably Knights of Jerky was not expecting that. I mean, at this point, I would have expected someone's in that hallway, right? You know they got the plant down. You know you cleared site, so no one's behind you. Or at least it's very unlikely, because they would have had to run literally to the other site. So you know they're at least somewhere in front of you. I don't know if I would have gone for the way that they had done it, and I think the approach just didn't quite work out for Knights of Jerky, unfortunately. I mean, they literally... did line themselves up directly for that Extinction player to knock down not 1, 2, but all 3 of the players in that beautiful maybe clip of the week. We'll see if that thing gets picked up there. I'm not sure if it was a perfect angle though. It wasn't a first person view, unfortunately. It was that third person. Sorry, Greg.
Always ask for their POVs. So
right, this is why you record.
I get their POV.
This is why you record, so you can send your clip of the week to Gravy at a later date. But anyways, that was a good start for the Extinction players, and I will say they got their 5th in. We might be seeing a different Extinction, you know, for this upcoming map. But regardless, Knights of Jerky won that first one, so even if Extinction wins this one, they gotta play out 3 maps.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a different game now that they have their 5th player in, and they're already showing that as a very, very nice first. I mean, it was kind of back and forth, I'm going to be honest there, Martini. It was going good at first, and then it wasn't doing good, and then it went great again with that 3K. So, you know, it still could necessarily be, you know, very
That
very
retake
close
was so
game,
good by
even though they
Knights
do
of
have the
Jerky.
fifth.
It was so good, had so much momentum,
retake.
and it just fell apart. It fell apart.
We're seeing an off-meta push here. They're going to be going with a B push, which isn't always the case for a lot of teams. I'm guessing the idea behind this is they have money, so they're able to go ahead and buy a Vezin, so it might be easier on these longer angles. I don't know. I'm excited to see how this goes and how they're going to go ahead and push this, but it does look like the Rizzler is going to be going upstairs while the rest of the team is going to be sitting by these doors down here in the bottom.
Yeah, the Rizzler coming around here, probably checking out for either roamers and or going for a deep flanking play. Well, to see if that does come out to good value here. I don't know if that Bresme Chris is aware of this player. This will definitely come to fruition later on in the round. We'll have to check out what's going on in the main action here, though, between the two major parts of the team, as they are trying to attempt to take this B site. And that Rizzler on the top end is going to make some good value on that, I think, roamer coming out from the Knights of Jerky players. And it looks like Sobin getting a shot off on his Monaco there. And it looks like the rest of the team is committing. Bresme Chris does get that one pick. Looks like they're going for the two-piece there, but it doesn't matter as Rizzler's up there on the end, getting to finish that one out. And it looks like the other second piece coming out from the other players now on the Extinction side, as they now are coming in and collapsing on this B side here.
Yeah, that was going to be very, very difficult, you know, in a 1v3 situation, when you let the enemy team know exactly where you're going to be and you're shooting and making yourself aware. They're just going to collapse on you, and that's exactly what they were able to do. And they have two people coming in from the back and one person in from the front. But yeah, that was a very interesting push, something that we don't typically see from a lot of these top teams. You had it looks like they were trying to commit to B, but then they started going over to A.
And they had like a really deep flanker, like a really, really deep flanker. That
a really slow flanker too. They went all the way around those little, I don't even know what you call those little silo things.
Yeah.
And, if they were a little bit quicker on that, they would have saved their teammates' lives.
I was worried because I thought, you know, the way I saw the play developing, I was wondering, you know, is it going to take too long, right? I think a lot of these teams still have not fully adjusted some of their plays because, you know, a lot of teams are used to that full 3-minute attack, right? That gives you actually a fair amount of time to not just, you know, set up your site, get ready to push and all these things, and also get the EP planted, but go walk across the whole map, right? We've seen some really longer plays sometimes, but that change in the time, instead of being 3 minutes now for an attack, but 2.5 minutes, will force some of these teams to move a little bit faster. Just a little bit. I will say 30 seconds off of 3 minutes isn't the most, but it's still that much more added pressure, right?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely got to try to adjust to that accordingly, especially when, you know, when you're on flank, you're supposed to be quiet, right? So you're crouching, and that's going to take obviously a lot longer than sprinting straight to where you need to be, because, you know, that extra added sense of quietness or stealth or sneakiness, you're going to need that if you're going to be a roam. You're by yourself. You don't have any teammates to rely on. And we're going to see the same push happen this time. Let's see if we see a different outcome this time, as Isma being able to get a double kill, one on the door, and then a nice cheeky wall bane. Very nice. And yeah, this is going to be a 5v3 situation very early in the round.
Yeah, this might be the momentum killer that Extinction didn't want to have happen, but it looks like it might be coming to fruition here. And I'm just waiting on this pick here from his Monaco. I think someone's going to swing it. I'm just waiting on something to happen here. But it looks like Drone is coming out here trying to get some intel for the Extinction players as they do enter the site. But it looks like they might actually go for a rotation here as the players are peeling off. And credit to the Extinction players, right? They are aware that roamers might come out. We've seen a lot of players in the back kind of just watching some of the angles. But it looks like the Knights of Jerky players are fully ready for either side to be taken, as both sides have a pretty well spread team here. So at this point, it's really up to Extinction how they want to approach this, but time is ticking down. Again, as we mentioned earlier, they have less time now. 30 seconds ticking down. 45 seconds ticking down. They got to do something soon here, as the Rizzler's trying to get a good angle here, but it looks like they are going to be rotating back to A site and getting this breach foam ready for this push here.
Yeah, they got 30 seconds now left on the clock, and they are at a player disadvantage. So they're going to have to make something happen right now. They did get the wall blown up, so they do have 2 points of entry that they can go ahead and collapse from. But yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot of action here, as Dark Raven was able to get a 2-piece, and Numbskill being able to finish off that last one. Knights of Jerky is going to be looking really good economy-wise, as none of their members were able to die, and they were all able to keep their Vezins. So that is going to give them a very, very nice cushion going into these next further rounds.
Yeah, did not even catch that. They had that roaming, that flanker on the very back end. What is it? Dark Raven coming in and knocking out some of those players on the Extinction side. And that's the hard part, right? When the time's counting down, you're trying to make this push. It's kind of hard to watch out for those flankers sometimes. And that Knights of Jerky player coming out in the end there was perfect timing as they knocked out 2, only leaving it down to the 1 Extinction player. You know, we're giving, I think, Extinction a lot of credit considering how well they performed, you know, in that 4v5 in a previous map. But I think this goes to show this is anyone's game. You know, if I mean, I thought it earlier too. I'm hey, you know, they get that 5th player, they're locked in, this is done. But that's not quite what we're seeing here. The first couple of rounds, yeah, you know, Extinction was doing pretty well. But we are seeing, you know, Knights of Jerky finally doing a pretty good job at holding down the Extinction players. If anything, shutting them down. I mean, a 5-0 in terms of players in a round is really, really good considering that was the assault rifle round, right?
Oh yeah, and now we're gonna see another assault rifle this round. Only person that doesn't have one would be X guy with the Omen, but again, the Omen has been proven to be very versatile. And we see Extinction all looking at each other, very confused outside, as it looks like one of their teammates took a little bit of damage. I don't know if there was a little bit of a TK action or a dropped grenade. I'm not too sure. I may have missed that. But yeah, they're gonna go ahead and start taking sight now. And ooh. Trips do go off, but don't take any damage. Very, very nice as Zay was able to avoid those trips. I guess Jesus does save, because saved his life right there. And yeah, they're going to go ahead and start this push, and they're going to go ahead and try to stop their push there with that ensign, which is very well placed. So that's another 15 seconds that they're going to go ahead and stall for. And oh, they do have another trip mine. Okay, it's placed behind the box there. Let's see if they're able to spot that trip.
Oh, they're the team that just like places random trip mines, and honestly,
Definitely.
that's the way to do it because people just won't know where to expect it because it's just in the randomest places.
Yeah, or like, oh, one just blew up, so probably not going to be another one. And Isma was able to go ahead and get a pick of her own, and a second pick from Dark Raven, and Dark Raven's going to go ahead and rotate back to his site and bank that kill, leaving it again into another 5v3 situation. And they're not even aware of the very slow lurk roam from Resmi Chris that's about to go ahead and collapse on the back of them. They can get a very easy 2-piece, leaving it into a 5v1 for X-Guy.
Yeah, looks like Resmi.
1, 2.
Ooh. Oh, is that it? Yeah, let's just.
I predicted it.
Let me just clip that one.
That was stuff just to X-Guy. And in this 5v1 situation, and Dark Raven came back for more. It was able to go ahead and get that other last pick. Again, all 5 players of Knights of Jerky up. I don't think they really care, Martini, about their 5th player at all. I think they're showing, hey, we're here to fight. We're here.
They're almost playing better. They're almost playing better against them with a full 5 team, which is, you know, it's it's funny to think that because sometimes I think that Bob makes you relax a little bit, and I think that's what we saw in the previous map. And Knights of Jerky definitely looking a lot more relaxed in terms of a team, but they look more locked in this time around. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure if they just had a pep talk and said, hey, they got their 5th, we gotta lock in, but they're doing better. We're seeing again, you know, a team that performed kind of okay against Extinction, playing better. I'm not sure, maybe Dam is their map, you know, but that might be the case here. This might be a map specialty coming out from the Knights of Jerky players, at least in terms of them on defense here, but they've been playing, I think, a lot better than they did in the previous round, and it shows now, right? They won the last 2 rounds. They've been holding their Bezins in hand. I wouldn't be shocked if they kind of win this out, maybe a 4-2 again, maybe another 4-2 on map 2. And this is with them this is Extinction with a full, I would argue, full set of players, right? Full strength, I guess, is a better way of wording that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, though, last map as well, they started out on defense and was able to turn that into a 4v2 or 4-2-2. And but when they switched, you know, they kind of lost that momentum. They still ended up winning, but they were able to give up so many more rounds for that enemy team. They're able to get 3 rounds on them rather than 2. So, you know, that could be the same case here. But they might, you know, have that extra push that they need now that they have that 5th player to fully come over that hump. But who knows? We're into a good game here, and I bet you they're going to win this round as well, as they have full Bez and buys. while Extinction only has 2 Vesens coming out from them. We see 2 Omens as well, so a little bit of an eco disadvantage, and they're going to be doing this site again. I don't think the site has worked out for them yet, has it? No.
It did that one
first
round, didn't it? Yeah, that 3K.
Yes.
I mean, that was a beautiful pick there from the Extinction players. But yeah, no, definitely not as well as they have. I think they're playing a little bit more focused this time, focusing only on the A side now. As all of the Extinction players coming in right now, getting ready for this push. And it looks like they're trying their best to really hold them back with these wall bangs, but nothing quite clipping any of the Extinction players yet. But that time is counting down. 1 minute left in a round. They did cut off the rotation kind of spot there with that incendiary, as that frag is coming out. Not any damage, but that smoke kind of denying some vision there. Exactly, gonna get some picks off in the shots. Getting some shots off in the back there. Sorry, I said that's so wrong. Didn't quite work out now as the Knights of Jerky players are holding out the Extinction players.
Yeah, we're already seeing again this update. Like you gotta commit. You gotta get in there. You gotta push because yeah, there are 40 seconds left and not a single pick from either side. They're doing a very good job at holding off this attacking team from making any movement into the site. And I think that that little proxy there is doing a really good job of that as well, as they have not taken that out, so they don't have to. You know, they don't really have to really swing out and try to get some kills or anything, because if they haven't got the proxy, they're not going to take side anyways. So yeah, now they're down to 15 seconds, and all 5 players are up. All right, we're seeing the push come in, and Trey comes left and right. Numbskull taking out 2. X-Guy taking out 1. EMP has been planted. Numbskull taking out another one, and Isla taking out the second to last person. X-Guy is able to go ahead and get another pick of his own, but now it is a 1v2 with 5 HP left and having to stick the defuse. So Isma is going to go ahead and bait for Dark Raven. Isma is going to try to go ahead and stick it. It's all up to Dark Raven now. 5 HP. Here's the repel. Dark Raven's going to go back and stick it.
The hand is shaking. I can literally see the hand shaking. I don't know if you saw that. The hand shaking in the very end there.
Wow.
But I think the Extinction player was not ready for the timing, because remember, it takes 3 ticks. If you take 1 or 2 ticks down, it makes that last defuse that much faster. And I think that's what the Extinction player forgot. And that it doesn't totally. It's not like other games where, you know, if you kill someone on defuse, it takes the same full amount of time for defusing. It's actually quicker. It has those, you know, little stop points, I would say. And that worked out perfectly for the Knights of Jerky player. I mean, that was good. Good play by Extinction though. They almost had it in the end there.
Yeah, that was a very back and forth moment from both teams. Even if they had that eco disadvantage, it did show up and turn that into a very good fight. They were able to get the eco money that they needed as well. You know, they were able to go ahead and plant that EMP, which is very beneficial to them, as they were able to go ahead and do a full Vezin buy this round as well.
I mean, hey, 3-2. That's the first time this map, Knights of Jerky being in the lead finally. You know, checking out one of the players I see in the chat here, Dr. Jimmy, saying, yeah, we lock in better on map 2, to be honest, because we figure out the team's behavior by map 2. And, you know, that's an interesting point that I think people always forget about the competitive side. It's not just the gun skill. It's not just, you know, how you attack these sites and all these things, but it's also figuring out what are your, you know, enemies' tendencies here. And if that's the case, we'll see if Knights of Jerky locks in and beats them out, you know, in map 2. But hey, I would not discount the Extinction players, because they got all 5 in, and they have also themselves been performing well. But this is, I like it. It's a back and forth, 3-2. It's a close game. I'm looking forward to see who wins out this first half, right? Or maybe it comes out to a 3-2 tie. I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case here. Looks like we do see finally a boost coming out from the Extinction players. They are playing a lot more aggressive, I think, this round, as the players are a lot faster. The frag coming back, almost hitting one of their own players. That would have been a really... Was that a TK almost, or was that... Oh, no, they could plant right there? I didn't even know. Frag coming out there. They are not ready for the Extinction players, as they already are going to be taking over this site. Now taking down some of the players now.
Oh, Modsy is hiding in the smoke right there. As soon as that smoke disappears. Oh, there's a lot of back and forth in the smoke. And Mach being able to go ahead and get that last pick over there, leaving it all up to X-Guy again in another 1v2 situation. But Raven is going to go ahead and try to stick this defuse. And X guy was gonna ignore that and say, no, they're not gonna defuse again on me. However, they did get the defuse, living through that like deja vu, same situation with the timing of the EMP, and the same person as well in a 1v2.
Look, wow. I love a good post-plant strategy situation. I think Extinction might need to go back to the drawing board there. I think that was the second time in a row where the post-plants didn't quite work out, and it came down to time. Think about it. It was time. They had enough time to defuse. So I think they got to watch some of the angles they're utilizing, right? Extinction there, unfortunately, that angle was just a little too far. I think it gave Knight of Jerky a fair amount of time to get that defuse off.
Yeah, and I think this Knights of Jerky squad really has very good momentum when it comes to retaking sites. They don't care that, you know, they have EMP planted. They just, all they know is, hey,
they're ready.
I got to go in there and I got to make something happen. And that's what they've been doing. They play very well together. Even if they had a couple of hiccups, you know, the person sitting in the corner on that first round or that person hiding in the smoke, just that round. But regardless of those small little hiccups that you can't really, you know, avoid too much, they're still able to overcome those and do really great on the retake. Very, very good retakes every single one of those rounds that they had the EMP planted.
I do like the adjustment, too, of strategy by Extinction, where they played a little bit more aggressive on that site, that they were able to actually get the plant off. I don't know if you remember the previous round they played that site. They played a little too conservative on the back end and they got shut down. Anyways, it's like Move C getting shut down by Resmi Chris themselves. Wow, Knights of Jerky got to a really good start on that 5v3 already. It's only 30 seconds into the round. This is looking good. This might be maybe you know, Dr. Jimmy in the chat was right. They are locking in for this round as Resmi Chris gets another pick off there. Now leaving the site just for Jesus saves with Zay. But they do get picked off, now leaving it all down to the Rizzler in the back end there. They got to commit somewhere as it's a 1v3 retake now from the Extinction players.
Yeah, but they're already starting that timer, which isn't a whole lot of time, right? They got 45 seconds and they only have 50 HP. And yeah, it's all up to them in a 1v3 situation where they have full health. This is quite the advantage for them. So when you have that many people to have to kill and get the defuse, at this moment you really can't be crouching, right? You kind of just have to run in there and see what you can get. And yeah, having those three people up, it's going to be very easy to go ahead and spot the last person, right? And you can just one person watch flank, the other couple of people watch where there's, you know, more entrances, which they did. They did that so perfectly. Very great post plant, making it very easy to pick off just that last person to give them that round win. And they're looking very good coming into the second half because now they have that eco advantage. Let's see if they play into that. They could potentially get 3 Vezins to at least guarantee the tie for this map. Because if they guarantee the tie on this map, even if it gives them a little bit more wiggle room, because if they lose, if they ended up tying, coming all the way back in 6-16 this map, they can lose the last map and still walk away with the tie. You know, that's a little bit of weight and relief off your shoulder, right?
Yeah, so in this situation, do you think it's okay to go for that triple Vezin to really lock in that 6th round? Or do you still do
absolutely.
the 2? Really?
I would secure it. I would secure it as quickly as I can. I mean, now's the best time, right? You already know they're going to be at an eco disadvantage. They're not gonna. Interesting
buys though. Knights of Jerky again. I'll say the Knights of Jerky strategy and game mechanics working well, but the eco I think there does leave some space to kind of work on. I mean, check out the hero buys. Only 1, sort of a 2 with that Taurus in hand, but I don't know if we've seen anyone on the Knights of Jerky players really utilize that Taurus to full effect yet. Because is this the first time we've seen someone with a Taurus on their side?
I think there was one other buy, but I don't think they got any kills with it. And that was, I think it was last map. However, you know, they're going for that clip of the week. You know, I really want to put a Taurus clip in here. So, it'd be so nice, you know, if someone was rushing to site and get at least maybe 3 kills with the Taurus. I'm just putting it out there. You know, if someone's here in the chat listening, someone gets me a nice Taurus kill, I will definitely.
You're guaranteed a spot. Clip of the week.
Guaranteed. Very, very nice. Good Taurus kill. Oh, I would put it in there in a heartbeat. All right, and we're seeing the same push coming in that they have been doing on the other team. They're going to go ahead and try to mimic that and say, hey, we can go ahead and do this push as well, but watch us do it better. And they're going to go ahead and blow up that wall and start making their way in there. Numbskull is going to go ahead and fight in the same spot. However, that is wall baneable, so you got to be careful there. Yep, that happened from Modsy, recognizing they're probably planting right there and got that to kill. So now they have the EMP planted. Not planted, set. So hopefully Extinction's able to recognize this and be like, hey, they can only come from this way. And they're going to start doing it again. But hey, they're able to get the EMP plant off this time. And it is a 1v1 situation as they were able to go ahead and get a kill with that Omen. and it's all up to Isma with the pistol, and wasn't able to get that last kill. Isma did have the money to go ahead and buy a Vez in that round as well, and I'm telling you, if bought that Vezin, that could have been.
Yeah, this might have been a different round. 2 Vezins in hand. I mean, they would have been able to push a little bit more, I think, consistently with their players. I'm kind of shocked though that Vezin versus Omen battle there, that should have been the Knights of Jerky player, but they weren't able to lock in there.
Yeah, pretty much fell apart right there. As soon as that planting spot is the most common spot to be planted, and I don't know why. I feel like there should be like maybe a different.
I thought there was cover there. I didn't realize you could wallbang that. The fact that you can wallbang it makes it a terrible EMP spot, I think.
It is. Because that's the only place that like teams really push because they feel like they're protected. Because there's no, if you push off to the left, you're gonna get shot. You push off to the right, you're probably gonna get shot too. And everything in that room is wallbangable. Like all those like little cubicles and stuff, you can shoot right through those things.
I didn't know that, so that's actually pretty useful. And I think once people learn more about the wall banging spot in that site, they might honestly change where they plant it. Because if anyone's aware of that, you should be able to honestly, I think, wall bang that whole spot from the back, and so you can protect that EMP spot without having to actually commit yourself, right?
Yeah,
which is actually a really good position to be in. You can get that an easy pick with no exposure yourself.
Absolutely, and something I want to bring up as well is I would not make EMP planting your main priority, right? You are in a 5v5 situation. You don't need to go in there and plant the clock right away, because again, they have 5 players up. They can all be on site, holding nice angles and things like that. And if they hear that EMP is starting to get planted, which Modsy did, was able to go and get that nice easy wall bang. And now you're in a 5v4 situation. At least get the numbers advantage, right? Get a couple of picks, you know, scare them a little bit, make them, you know, play a little bit more conservative back in the site, and then try to go for that EMP plant, because then you're gonna feel a lot more safe. You're gonna get wall bangs, and then you can, you know, start that clock, and you're gonna have a numbers advantage as well. Because again, you could win off getting kills. You don't always have to win by getting an EMP plant. And Numbskill looks like it's gonna start that. Oh, looks like it's gonna be a fake plant. And X guy's gonna swing out and go ahead and get Mods. Wow, we see a triple swing come out from the Rizzler.
I missed that. I'm sorry, Rizzler. I missed that. I was like focused on, I was trying to get like the gun first person POV, and I didn't catch that. Oh my goodness. Rizzler, if you got that POV, I hope you did. Please send it over to Gravy. Man, dude. I'm sorry.
POVs are nice too.
It's, you know, I think it's such a hard balance of getting the POV and then getting the third person view. Because I honestly think in terms of clips, that POV just always looks better. But sometimes it's really hard because you have to do a POV of 5 different guys. I'm sorry, 10 different people. It's hard to know who's going to get the picks, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't blame you for that. You know, I'm still learning casting as well, so I'm not very good on the cams either. So,
dude, honestly, I think,
like, what am I even looking at?
Yeah, I'm like 3 seasons in. It's still difficult now. Like, and it gets harder because depending on the team skill, it's harder and easier. I think Master Tier low-key sometimes is easier to cast because you know generally what they're gonna do anyways. But some of the teams lower down the ladder, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who's
they're rotating. Oh wait, they're not rotating. Oh wait, now we're going up here.
and you don't know who's gonna frag out. And you don't know who's gonna frag out. Like, you literally do not know. It could be anyone, any moment. So it's a little more intimidating.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of balanced scoreboard here as well, coming from both teams. Looks like both teams being able to hold their weight evenly, which is always great for a team as well. You don't want to really have just one person on the team every single time. They probably shouldn't be on that team. They should probably be, you know, playing with someone a little bit more at their skill level. So seeing some balance and stuff amongst the teams is always very good and very healthy in a team to have.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. Anyways, looks like the Knights of Jerky players are playing a little more aggressive. The Trip Mine does pick up Numbskull there as the Knights of Jerky players are starting to get ready for this EMP plant here. And Extinction in the back, ready, I think, for a retake. A lot of their players are pretty aggressive. They're up front. Never mind. Soybean gets a pick off on his Monaco there, only leaving 3 now on the Knights of Jerky side. Frag coming out. It's looking like it's falling apart. He has Modsy Rodzy gets a pick off on Resmi Chris. And Monj actually getting a pick off themselves, getting a little refrag. I don't know. This is, I don't want to say it's anyone's game still. I mean, it's a 2v4 situation. It's looking really rough. And Rizzler coming around on the back end there. Never mind. I thought they were going to commit. Looks like they are not.
X guy also taking out Dark Raven. If I was in this moment, I would also try to be saving. But X guy hunting down that last player is able to pick them off as well. Very, very good around there for X guy as he was able to go ahead and get multiple picks and secure that win for Extinction on that round. I'm telling you, if they were able to commit to that full buy on that the buy round basically of the switch,
they would, yeah, it would be like what 6-3, 6-4. Then they would have been going into an upcoming round with a good, tie, you know? Yeah, they would have been going into a really good, healthy economy round. At least it would have been even, because that last round I think it wasn't even, right? For Knights of Jerky, they were down eco. This would have been the different universes I see. I could see one of them where Knights of Jerky is now winning in 7-3 or something like that. Something like that. But unfortunately that isn't the case here, right? And that's what I do like, kind of seeing people up and down the ladder, because I think we can provide sometimes really solid feedback for people that do want it, right? I know some people say we should be a little bit more critical or a little harsher, I think, sometimes on our casting.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, but I don't want to say someone is bottom fragger and make them feel like the worst possible person ever. No, that's not fun, right? But I do want someone to be able to come to a cast and hear, you know what, I never considered that angle. I never considered those details or those ideas when making these sort of pushes. But anyways, Knights of Jerky getting ready for this solid push here. I will say, I noticed that the attacks from Knights of Jerky a little bit more consistently faster than the Extinction players. I think that does work to their advantage, but some of these 1v1 situations they have been losing to Extinction on this on their attacks.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and start the other push. Maybe they learned their lesson. It's very hard to plant on that other site. So they're going to go ahead and go with the meta push here, it seems like. And Util coming out, almost dying to that frag. But that Radius getting the silent nerf there doesn't do any damage on the lunge. And Resmi Chris able to go ahead and get a pick of his own through the smoke on the Rizzler, making this a 5-4 situation. They're looking easier and easier now for the Knights of Jerky squad as Zay actually goes ahead and evens out the fight and gets a pick of their own. So now it's all up to, looks like just these 3 players over here on site, as Isma is going to go ahead and be watching the flank as they go ahead and hang out back. And they're waiting for some picks right now. Martini doesn't look like they're going to be committing very quickly at these moments.
I know. I think they're trying to get a slow push, trying to get a pick before they get that push in, because it is even. It's a 4-4 right now. They probably don't want to play too aggressive. Never mind. They are going in for the plant there. They do get picked off there. The Incendiary, though, comes out, shuts down the 1-2 there with Soybean. Never mind, as Dark Raven coming around the back end there. Almost, almost a solid comeback there from the Extinction players, but that flank on the very end there shuts them down with Dark Raven. I mean, that was a beautiful play there from the Extinction player, that Incendiary in hand, that shot to the face for the other player to finish that one up. I would have, watching that, I'm like, you know what, maybe they would have been able to come back from that, but Knights of Jerky, again, showcasing they know how to lock in. I'll say this. Whoever said that in the chat that they can lock in, they are doing better. They are doing better than map 1. So Extinction's got to lock in here. This is it, 7-5 or a 6-6 game. It's definitely going to be kind of a nerve-wracking, round for these players, because if they do not win this one, we are done. This is going to be a serious win for the Knights of Jerky players. Well, who do you got? Who do you got this round? It looks like the eco is actually pretty even. This is a dead even round in terms of eco. This is really going to come down to skill, I think.
Yeah, at this point, honestly, I'm not going to say. I honestly don't know. I don't think I've seen Knights of Jerky. I don't think they've won this site yet. On the attack. I think the last time they tried, they did get shut out pretty bad. So it looks like they're going to actually try something different. They're not going to, obviously that one didn't work very well, so it looks like they're going to be going a whole different route. We're going to see that off meta push here over on B site. There's only one person really right there on B site, which is going to be the Rizzler. And he has no idea what's going on outside, but all it takes is that door to be broken, and then he's going to be the only one there, really, to go ahead and try to do something here with this 1v4.
And I think Rizzler's got to be a little careful, because I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, you can actually kind of go up to the staircase and sort of see some of these other players' footsteps. So you got to be careful about exposing yourself. you know, as you're kind of watching these areas. Never mind, they are committing to that door as the frag coming out there, and it takes out this Monaco as it looks like the team is trying to get a commitment in here. As another frag coming out here, and it shuts them down. Jesus Christ, I'm definitely getting that replay there. Now coming down to Dark Raven. Wow, I thought this might have been a very different game for Knights of Jerky, but it has come to a screeching halt in under, what is that, like 10 seconds?
The nades really shut that out very quickly. Raven able to go ahead and get one pick. Make it a second pick. It is down to a 1v1 situation. Dark Raven is low, gonna go ahead and get that stim off, and does recognize that there is another player. However, they were able to go ahead and get that last kill, and we are going to be playing a map 3 as we have a draw on Dam. That came down. That was a very good round, Martini. Not a push that we typically see a whole lot. Very going off meta and making it still very close, even with those nades picking off 3 of their players.
Yeah, I just got that replay going in there, and it is beautiful for the Extinction players. I mean, they got the one frag coming out, shut them down, killed at least one of them. Got the second frag coming out, shut down the next set of players, and it was a bloodbath. I mean, that was a bloodbath for the Knights of Jerky players, and a fitting, I think, win, you know, for the Extinction players. Now, 7-5 for Knights of Jerky, 6-6. So Knights of Jerky, they did lock in, they did hold it out. So they could tie the last one and win this all, right? If they win it all, then, you know, if they win it, then they win anyways. If they lose it, then it's a tie. So Knights of Jerky technically has the upper hand, right? They have one map win in their pocket. So Extinction has to either win this map to tie the series, or that's it. There's literally no other way they win this one out. So it's definitely a lot more advantageous for the Knights of Jerky players. So we'll have to see if which map are they going to play. You know, I thought they're going to play the original 3. You know, I thought we were going to see Factory. I thought we were going to see Hideout. I thought we were going to see Skyscraper.
Left, right? So
Hideout and Sky.
One of those two. I'm gonna say Hideout.
Hideout, right? Yeah, Hideout's like the most common. You know, the bread and butter, I always say, right? You got the Factory, you got your Factory, you got your Hideout. You got your bread and butter for Breachers for sure. I would be shocked if they didn't choose that. But if Skyscraper is chosen, I will be pleasantly surprised, as it's one of my favorite maps. I know that is a little polarizing for some people, but it's one of my favorite maps, honestly. I did enjoy playing it a lot back in the day when it first came out, you know, with the release and everything. But I mean, what did you see that game? How did you feel about Extinction and Knights of Jerky? Extinction having that 5th player in. You said yourself you thought it'd be a very different game, but that isn't quite what we saw there. 6-6. And to be quite honest, I think Knights of Jerky just kind of fumbled it, right? That too many players in one area allowed that double frag situation to develop, and it just really shut them down.
Yeah, I think they needed to have a little bit more momentum right there. I think they got too scared by the gunfire from that one player, the Rizzler. But only if they knew there was only just him, right? If they were able to just, maybe they can sacrifice even one person, right? Maybe one person swings out, tries to kill him, but dies. Then another teammate swings out and gets the refrag. That's fine. It's an even trade. But at least now they have, you know, sight, and they can go ahead and move off that momentum and just push into sight, get that EMP planted, and then go back to post defense, right? But really, they stayed all in that one corner on that spot, and they were not leaving that spot. And just those nades, like, all right, you want to stay there, that's fine. Kobe, and that's all it took.
Yeah, you know, it's so interesting because we saw Knights of Jerky consistently play very aggressive and faster on attack and Extinction, but we didn't see that happen. We didn't really get to see them push it there, right? So you're right. I think their tentiveness kind of pushed them, made it worse for them, and allowed a double frag situation to destroy more than half the team.
Yeah. I mean, they still kind of brought it back with just 2 players left, right? It came down to a 1v1 situation, and I like watching those, Martini. Just so clutch at the end of your seat. Last round, you know. Like,
last round, get the craziest, like almost a team wipe. That was almost a team wipe. Hey, that honestly wouldn't be a bad clip of the week. It wasn't like a 3K technically. It was 2 frags, but it's a team, almost a team wipe, which was, I think, kind of crazy. But you can check out the replay later. I thought I did a pretty good job at capturing that one. But anyways, does not matter as we are going straight into Hideout here. And let's see what these teams are rocking here. We got Extinction on that defending side and Knights of Jerky on the attacking side. What do you expect? You know, this is a map that everyone and their mom and their dad and their cousin and their dogs have played in VR, right? So what do you expect to see coming out here?
Well, we're gonna see who practices this map the most, I guess. I mean, it's very back and forth on this map. Honestly, I can't even give you my opinion, Martini. I really can't. It's not really defensive sided. It's not really offensive sided. It's really fair on both sides. So we're really gonna have to see like both a really good offense and defense for the Extinction team to go ahead and if they want to go ahead and tie this, they're gonna have to do good on both. Because
I think
either team can come back when it switches.
I think originally I always thought it was a little bit more offensive sided, but I think as you know the teams, the players have kind of matured. A lot of people know how people tend to attack right on site. So sometimes it almost feels like defense is more favorable because you kind of already know what they're gonna be doing on the attack, right? Like here, the very common setup is pushing in through storage, get set up for this B push. I love seeing a good A push. I love seeing a good A push because that never happens.
Yeah, exactly, but it's also true that some of these sites are very easy to push on offense, like so easy, like top floor, right? Like that, just dump a bunch of util into the back where tub is and get that quick plant off, and then you have a really strong post defense. This is one of those maps that not a lot of other maps have that on offense. That's why a lot of people feel very safe voting for it. And we're seeing a lot of back and forth action here. And X guy able to go in and swing and get that 2-piece, and then gets refragged by Dark Raven, turning this into a 2v1 situation, all up to the Rizzler. And was able to go in and swing and get the kill on Dr. Jimmy. It's all up to Dark Raven now. And the Rizzler doesn't know where that person is. However, they do now. And now they're confused. Like, where do those shots come from? But,
can you wallbang it? Oh, wait, you can.
It's wallbangable. And the Rizzler was able to go ahead and get that last kill. Yeah, they were able to go ahead and hit 2 of them. And X guy getting the other 2. So yeah, they were looking very, very strong that round.
Again, I'm shocked. Nice and
Jerky.
They had a good start. They got a couple picks. I think that's where they kind of fall apart. Because I think people forget, right? Like once you get those picks, that's 1 less, that's 2 less, that's 3 less people in that room. That you should be able to take sight at that point, right? Once you've seen that, I've taken out 1-2 players on that site, it might be a clean site, to be quite honest. That they got to make those pushes in there, and I think that's where we've seen that again. Nice and Jerky just doesn't make the push part, right? They get the setup, they get the picks, but they're not making that push.
Yeah, so like the remaining person is probably like on flank or something. So that means there's maybe 1, maybe 2 people left on site. So you have those numbers advantage. That is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and get that plant. Obviously don't do it too early. You're taking a gun out of the fight there. But if you do have those numbers advantage, get the plant down, start that clock, and then really you just have to wait for that roamer to come slowly coming back to site. As I'm like, oh shoot, my team's all dead.
Well, yeah, then also if they take too long, that allows that roamer to get set up. It allows the roamer to get into a better position to start making picks themselves, right?
Right. And then here we go on this push that I mentioned earlier. This is one of the sites that is very common done on A. We very, very rarely ever see a B push on this site. So yes, they obviously know how to set up on A, but there's not really good spots to really set up on A. It's so small and compact. And everyone knows where you're going to be hiding, right? And so since there's nowhere to really run, and we know you're going to be hiding, they're just going to go ahead and toss a bunch of util exactly where you're sitting. It's going to make it for a very easy site take. We're seeing 3 people up on that doorway on that other side. Typically, it's just the EMP planter, but they're going to full commit and take a bunch of space. Here goes the nade. Does go down and take out Dark Raven. We're seeing a lot of back and forth action here. You see it's a fair fight, 3v3, and they're going to go ahead and start the EMP plant again from Resmi Chris. But the ensign was not where he meant to throw it, so they're not able to get that EMP down, and they were able to go ahead and swing and get that kill before they were able to get that EMP planted. So now it is a 2v3 situation, and they have Omen advantage. And doesn't have a whole lot of health left. So yeah, this is going to be a very difficult retake. She's going to drop down the side there and go up the stairs, so probably try to get that EMP planted. However, I don't think that is probably the smartest situation to do in a 2v3. Now it is a 1v3. At this point, just get the money. Okay, you're 1 tick away. At this point, just get the money and then accept the loss.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a hard one, right? I think you're right. The Nice Jerky might prioritize plants too much. I know when I used to play, I used to prioritize plants, but I think because it sometimes can force the other team to do things. But you're right. You don't want to put yourself in a bad situation, because here's the thing. Once you go for the plant, the team generally knows one person's out of the action for what, like 7 out of 10 seconds. I forgot the exact amount. But they know someone's out of action for a certain amount of time. Unless someone's really smart about their surrounding, you can usually go in for a pick. But that forces that 5v4 situation, which can add a lot of pressure for your team, especially if they were getting picked off. Because I don't know if they noticed, but they were losing players on the push pretty early on there for Knights of Jerky. So I don't know. I'm kind of shocked. Knights of Jerky I saw doing a lot better in the previous map. I'm not quite seeing the same team here. It feels like there was kind of a switch up, or maybe Extinction is just that much better on Hideout. That might be the case here.
That's possible. That is a possibility. However, we can't count them out too early. We haven't even done the rounds.
It is 2 rounds. It is 2 rounds in. I will say that.
Yeah, they're definitely they have that little bit of wiggle room, right? Worst case scenario, they lose. It's actually an overall tie, right? So Extinction really is going to be fighting on this last map with everything they have to go ahead and try to avoid losing. And Isma is able to go ahead and get a quick, easy pick of her own very early on. And Zay is going to go ahead and trade out that Omen with the Vezin from the dead teammate. Very smart thing to do. He's going to toss that nade over to Modsy as well. Share the util. However, that does go ahead and let Isma know, hey, there's a person behind there. So they're going to go ahead and start shooting at Modsy. So now Modsy's super, super low.
Oh, no. I don't even notice. Someone threw a syringe too far, and they're out of syringe now. Oh, man. Things have just been going not to plan for the Extinction players now. As Knights of Jerky starting to collapse here, as they get a pick off here in the end. Now leaving it down to X-Guy in the end. They're getting picked off themselves. And now it comes all the way down to Rizzler as they decide to peel off site. But they're not going in for a save. They are going in for the 1v5 clutch, apparently, as they are going to be committing to site here. And I don't know if you noticed early on in the round, I saw an interesting choice. I saw an interesting choice from the Extinction players. There was like 2 or 3 Omens in hand, considering that they had a lot of cat. Look, 3,300, 3,300 from 2 players. I'm kind of shocked that they decided to keep the Omens and really maximize it. Never mind, it's Monaco ready for that angle as they shut down the Rizzler in the end there. But I don't know. What do you think happened there? I think just some bad plays. Extinction also leaning in on Omens instead of getting their Vezins for that assault rifle round.
Well, I honestly got to give it to the Knights of Jerky squad. They actually played that round very well, the way that they actually did not prioritize getting that EMP down right away.
They might have heard us. They might have the cast on right now.
That's a possibility, because it worked out. They prioritized picks first. Ismail was able to go ahead and get 2 picks very early in that round. That turned it into a 5v3 situation. So that means their whole team is going to go ahead and barrel in through that storage area, blow up the walls, make it so pressurized on site for those last 3 players to be very hard, right? They're gonna have to look all over the place, left, right, behind them. It's gonna be very difficult for those last 3 people. So when you're up like that, 5-3, that's the perfect opportunity to go ahead and start that EMP, because then with the gun out of the fight, that's still a 4v3. So they played that smart. They waited to get a couple picks, and then they went in with their push, got the EMP planted, and the round did end up going in their favor. So let's see if they can go ahead and pick up that momentum again and do that same thing on this round. Maybe a little bit of a redo, if you will. However, we've seen a little bit of a different push. Like a little unorthodox. Might be seeing a B push come out from the Knights of Jerky squad this time.
Yeah, it looks like they do try to switch off their sights to really throw the enemy team for a whirl. As it looks like they're playing a little faster. They got the breach. They got the teams ready. This is honestly the time to push. They're not aware yet, but there's actually a roamer on the Extinction side. That means their sights only got 4 players on. If they're going to add pressure, this is probably the moment to do it. But they got to do something pretty soon here. Otherwise, it looks like Soybean might be able to get some pick. Never mind, it's Monaco getting shot off on the Rizzler. Looks like there might be some beef between the two, as that's the 2nd time in a row where they've been just shutting them down so early on. But this is such a long angle, for the Knights of Jerky player. Never mind. Looks like there's a lot of back and forth here. Numskull getting a pick off on B side, and it looks like Soybean themselves are getting a lot of picks, but it is coming down to a 2v2 situation. Never mind. Soybean shuts it down with the Viper in hand. Comes down all the way to his Monaco on a 1v2 situation, but the health economy is not looking good for them. Oh, and they finished that one out. I'm going to be honest, I was not 100% sure they could clutch that one But that was a beautiful clutch in the air, beautifully executed. They got the pick, they peeled off, they went for the second. And it looks like that player on Extinction did get a little scared as they peeled off of that bomb plant. EMP defuse, sorry. Man,
yeah,
that was good.
I couldn't have played that better myself. Nico being able to go ahead and recognize, right, wanting to play for time. Don't want to be too over egotistical and try to swing and, you know, try to get a pick or whatever. Just you know, listening for that defuse, right? And then I think the Extinction team had a little bit of a hiccup there because they one of their members that was watching the window while the other person defused did a little bit of a pre-fire. Basically let Nico know, hey, I am right here. So if you want to swing me, now is a great time. You can shoot me. I'm right here. And that's exactly what Nico did. Went ahead and swung, got that free pick, and then left it into a 1v1 situation and continued to swing and get that second pick. That second pick was very nice.
I know, beautifully executed, as you said yourself. Now coming into this upcoming round on this, I think first time we're on the second floor, you know, with the garage space. So we'll have to see if Knights of Jerky can approach this a little bit differently. Looks like Rizzler trying to get, I think, was that a frag? Yeah, trying to get a frag in there, but not quite happening there. How are you feeling about the frag kills? You know, it's weird. I've been seeing some frags just not get the picks that they used to, and some frags just demolishing people. So I'm not sure what's going on. At first I used to be like, you know, it looks really bad now, but I've been seeing a consistent amount of frag kills now, so it's kind of confusing me. I'm not sure if they updated something.
Yeah, I mean, they updated the range on them, either the range or the damage, because yeah, there's definitely some nades that would have killed people in the past, not doing any damage now. And honestly, I personally like it. I think it's a great balance because I personally sucked with nades before and after, so it doesn't really affect me too much. If anything, it makes me stay alive a little bit longer. And it does look like they're going to be starting this push and pretty aggressive. They have both walls up already, but it is still a 4v4 situation. They have a little bit more of an eco advantage because they do have an extra Vezin over the Extinction team. And Resmi Chris does get a kill, but slowly gets traded off by Modzy, and Soybean does get the trip mine kill over on Numbskull. Isma is going to go ahead and try to get that EMP planted, but it is too early to be trying to go ahead and EMP plant, especially in a 2v3 situation. I don't think that was the right move to do, as we were mentioning multiple times before, as yeah, it is just not working out when you try to prioritize that EMP plant.
I think you're right. We have consistently seen, that is my, you know, Knights of Jerky, if you watch this cast later, I think that's going to be our biggest comment here. Y'all have, I think, solid, you know, aggressive pushes against, you know, especially a team like Extinction who plays pretty well. But prioritizing those EMPs sometimes will actually make it easier to kill you. So now you're down a player and you're kind of out of the fight, right? And especially in the case like that where it's you're on a 3-2 disadvantage, right? 3 players against 2. You're now forcing a 3v1 situation, which is very difficult. I think the only time it sort of works is if you have a crazy flank play where no one is on site. Like if someone had ran all the way somehow to the other side, no one's on that site, then yeah, maybe some like crazy flank play like that could work, where you can sort of prioritize that EMP. But when you know that there's 3 people on site, that's a little bit different, you know, of a game there. So I think that's my biggest criticism right now for those players. But it sucks, right? We see them like start developing the play, starts getting set up to get the picks, but prioritizing that EMP is actually shooting them in the foot.
Yeah, and it's also letting the enemy team know as well, like, hey, you heard the little beep, you know I'm right here. So if you want to try to go to swing me, you know, now's a great opportunity. I got my hand off my gun.
Right.
All right, this seemed like we're going to be doing a very common push. It has been working out in the past for the favor of Knights of Jerky. They've been doing very good on this bottom floor push. Let's see if Extinction is able to go ahead and adapt to this. However, it doesn't look like they're going to have anybody in storage. They're basically going to go ahead and give a free storage push, which is very dangerous. You know, if they were able to go ahead and get that wall open up in storage, that is going to create so many lines of engagement for the Extinction team. And they're all on site, right?
Yeah.
It's just they're shooting fish in a barrel.
I think they decided let's play anchor, and they might have anchored too hard. Does that make sense? Like there's like all 5 players only anchoring on site. They're trying to just hold it down. I know Rizzler's trying to get that flank over there, but we'll have to see if they do get good value here. But Knights of Jerky, again, as we mentioned, they got to get this pressure going. They got to get going here because this is the time to do it.
Rizzler on the flank gets one. Now they do know that there is someone on waterfall. but it is a 4v4 situation. They're gonna go ahead and start that plant again pretty early. And Modsy is just right there. See, again with the EMP, right? You know, if they did not plant the EMP and they were just like peeked up right there instead, maybe it was like a fake EMP plant, they would have had 2 free kills right there. The Extinction members were looking away and so focused on storage. But again, it's just the same thing that we said last round. It's the same situation that we just watched again.
Yeah, I think you're right. They just got to take site more, especially there. We saw, well, at least we know, Extinction had 3-4 player, most of their players on site anchored. It's going to be a little risky, to go for that plant there, even with some, a little bit of cover and people holding positions. Generally who to expect, and it's kind of a rough thing. They're better off just going and clearing site, or at least clearing most of the site before they get that plant off.
You don't even need to know where they're at, right? You don't even need to know if they're on site or away. You could just pull up the scoreboard and see how many teammates you have alive and how many teammates they have alive.
Not even that. You can look at your arm. They have the wrist HUD. Remember, they have the wrist HUD, so you can see who's how many people we got, right?
I completely forget about that sometimes.
I put it on my right arm, so whenever I'm aiming, I can see it. I can always see it at all times. Because I think normally it's on your left, so it's kind of further away.
Yeah,
I'm like,
It's those little shapes, right? I don't.
Yeah. It's like
I look at it like, oh, cool shapes.
Oh my God, it's meant for you to use, Gravy.
No, I don't use that at all.
Oh man.
Sorry, Triangle Factory. Cool feature though. I'm sure people use it. Like
I use it.
Exactly. All right, F-tier nade coming in from. Oh wait, no, that was thrown by Dr. Jimmy. I'm sorry, I thought that was from their teammates. But no, it was not. An X guy was able to go ahead and swing that kill over on Dr. Jimmy, as X guy is going to be holding a very good angle to go ahead and cut off that whole garage area. And yeah, it does ultimately push back Knights of Jerky back to site. They're not wanting to really stick around in garage. They're basically going to go ahead and give them garage. Isma, though, however, is going to be the only one on flank. Technically, that little flank watch, which will catch X guy eventually when he does go ahead and try to group up with his teammates, if he ends up running through that area, which I'm assuming he's going to do. That's the very most common thing after a while. It just kind of depends on how patient Isma is, if they want to go ahead and sit there and watch that for very long, or group up with their teammates if their teammates start dying too quickly.
Yeah, I think if Knights of Jerky can get those picks, we might see that Extinction player decide to peel up here. But at 3, this is technically a 3-3, so they could actually play this out with the Extinction players there. They're not fully aware of that, right? They can't see like we can, but technically they can play this one out and still come out of this, I think, either up or at least even, right? But time is counting down here. Soybean trying to get that, I think, breach on the other side there and potentially catch out Resmi Chris. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. Resmi Chris able to finish that up and get the EMP shut down. So you might be seeing that X guy push up here soon. Never mind, those wall bangs almost getting Resmi Chris there.
Super low. If just kept shooting, would have gotten Resmi Chris, as Resmi Chris is too scared to move. And wow, Mods is going to go ahead and swing so fast into sight. And okay, I don't know if you caught that, but Dark Raven actually threw a nade and Numbskull picked it up, so he didn't get blown up there. And Resmi Chris able to go ahead and get 1 pick off, even with low HP. And Zay, though, getting 2 picks of his own, turning this into a 1v2 situation. However, he doesn't have the most amount of HP, but he does go around and grab EMP, so maybe he does want to go ahead and get some extra points or something, but I don't know if that was the smartest move to do, again, in a 1v2 situation. I think he was just going for some points at that point.
I think, yeah, if you know you're going to lose, go for the points. I mean, you saw the timer, right? It was counting down. I think it's 5. It was 10 seconds. It was red, right?
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, I think it's a one time. I think we say it's okay to prioritize EMP.
Absolutely.
Because you know you're going to lose. So if you're going to lose, you might as well get points for your team. I think that's the asterisk. That's the one asterisk exception you get.
And that's
there.
Already because you messed up by taking too much time.
Yeah, I don't know what quite happened there. I think some of the, pushes from the Extinction players might have been a little too aggressive there. They didn't quite coordinated. Maybe they could have potentially had X guy, peel around if you wanted to play a little safer to kind of pull up for that push. But things just didn't quite work out for the Extinction players. So looking a little bit more in form for Knights of Jerky. But again, that they are 4-3. They're still on their disadvantage. They're still on a They're on a down round right now, but let's see if they do. It looks like they are going in for a hero buy, one half buy, and then one sort of half. Like, do you consider a Taurus a half buy or a bigger eco buy? I don't even know what to call it.
A bigger you could buy. I mean, it's not necessarily as expensive as like an Omen or something, but it's basically an Omen. It's only 200 points off of one.
Right.
I would way rather
And
have
that's
an
if you
Omen
get it
than-
with Oh, really? You'd rather?
Oh
yeah.
I mean, that's just me personally. You know, I'm not Hane. I can't hit all these crazy shots here. With
Shout
the
out to
Taurus.
Hane again. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like whenever a Taurus gets brought up, Hane is always mentioned, right?
Yeah, I think that's with everybody though, to be honest. I mean, he's hitting some crazy clips with the Taurus, and it's just such a high skill gapped gun. You really have to hit your headshots with that. If you miss, you know, you're pretty much a goner at that point.
Do you not have a clip of the week from Hane?
No, he has not done a Taurus clip so far. So if he hits something this season, it will go in there. But yes, previous seasons and stuff before, yeah, he's hitting multiple clips.
Dang. Looks like they are down for one of the players already for the Knights of Jerky side. Giving Extinction a pretty solid advantage to start off here with. But we'll have to see if... Looks like they have a deep roamer there coming in from Dark Raven. Looks like they are going to decide to peel off there. Just getting that one kill in the pocket. It's hearing it. But that frag, I think, might have been a bad timing for it. But it looks like a frag coming out for the... Oh! As Rizzler gets knocked down. As that S-tier frag does shut them down. Now leaving only 3 players left now. But it looks like Soybean getting a little scared and checking and trying to clear out that roamer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get a pick, but however, they do have that Vezin advantage, and Numbskull is showing that by already getting a pick. And Dark Raven going ahead and swing out and get a pick of their own on the flank. But Numbskull really showing some force with that Vezin, you know, getting those refrags, even though that they were able to go ahead and kill a couple of their teammates, does not matter, because now they're able to go ahead and refrag with the power of the Vezin.
Nothing better than shooting through your teammate for the kill.
Hey, when you got those numbered advantage, you could do stuff like that.
That's true. That's true.
There's only a couple of enemies left.
And they only bought one Vezin, so it's not like the eco was like destroyed or anything. But I think, yeah, it looks like they're pretty healthy on the economy. Checking out Knights of Jerky now, pretty good. But Extinction, we're not seeing the same thing. But no, Maserati should have cash. What are they doing on the Extinction side? Are they just
Monty's a little AFK right now, but I'm guessing he's going to be buying a Vezin. Yep. And now, but still at an eco disadvantage because we're still seeing
Soybean, right? Soybean and Zay. Oh wow, I thought they would. Did they buy out more than I thought in the previous round? Interesting.
Yeah, we're seeing 3 Vezins there and 2 Omens versus 4 Vezins and nope, 5. They have 5. All right, so yeah, should be in the favor of Knights of Jerky. Let's see if they're able to go ahead and show that and hold very tight here in storage and not letting them take too much space.
Yeah, the Extinction player is getting set here for this push soon. We'll have to see if it does come to fruition, though. I mean, as that eco advantage might be giving them some problems, potentially. But if they can pick up 1 kill, they'll be able to kind of equalize this Vezin advantage that the other team does have. But I think we're seeing an interesting play here as the Rizzler is going in for a deep sort of stair push, I believe, if I'm seeing that correctly. And it looks like Dark Raven, never mind, getting a pick on X-Guy all the way out through that window, I believe. As now some of the players from Extinction are coming in. And it looks like Resby is trying to catch him out.
Alrighty. Isma, if you caught that, the person coming down the stairs, they did go ahead and take that person out on stairs who did have EMP. So I think Isma realizes that, and then the whole team is going to go ahead and try to move in where that EMP is. So Dr. Jimmy's going to come over there, Dark Raven's going to come over there, and they're going to try to go to take sight, but they're like, you can have sight, you don't have EMP. But Numbskull's going to go ahead and actually hold off sight by themselves still and take 1, but does get refragged by Zay, and leaving Zay into a 1v3 situation. They did take out 1. So if they do get these last 3 picks, that would be a 4K and would be looking very good for Zay. But Zay is going to go ahead and try to push sight without EMP, and does get taken out by Dark Raven. Even though Dark Raven had a little bit of HP, held a very tight angle, and was able to get that headshot off first before they recognized where they were. So very well done and well played by the Knights of Jerky squad.
Yeah, Dark Raven got some pretty solid picks that round. I mean, 1 deep one from that window, you know, in that back area for the attackers. They probably were not expecting that. And another random one in the end there, having, I think, what is it, like 10, 20 health left. in their pocket. So not looking good, but here we are again. Knights of Jerky on the cusp of a match point, actually, because if they get a 6 points, that is tied. That all they can get is a tie at this point, and they have won out the series because they are the only team to have scored 1 map win here on that first map, right? That second map doesn't count for anyone because they both have got a tie on that, and this one, if they get a 6, that means bare minimum they're tying. Best case, they win. So Knights of Jerky coming into their upcoming match point, really healthy, right? We're now looking at Extinction on an even bigger disadvantage. Now 1 player only with a Bezin, everyone else buying an Omen, probably understanding that this is a match point round. They gotta win this or this is game over for their series.
Yeah, I'm sure the rest of the Extinction team watching at home right now probably not, feeling too good about this round right now. Hopefully they can pull out some sort of miracle and make something work. Maybe with a couple of nice, quick, cheeky picks. Maybe being able to acquire a Bezin from the enemy. I don't know, but it looks like they know that they have the eco advantage, so they're going to be playing very tight on the site. I think the only thing that could work right now is if they take out Dr. Jimmy over here on the B long hallway. However, that's gonna be very difficult to do because that hallway is so long, and he has a Vezin, which is better at longer range.
Yeah, it's definitely be a very, very tough game for the Extinction players. They gotta play this almost, I would say perfectly. If they don't, they lose a player. This is probably looking like it's gonna give Knights of Jerky the win, and they'll be finishing this one out. But it looks like the teams are still trying to make this push. Their Fragment out there in the end, going deep in on that B side, not quite hitting anyone from the Rizzler's hands. But I'm kind of curious if they're going to go for a rotation. Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting if they did decide to go for an A push instead. But I don't think it matters. I think the team will be able to respond relatively well no matter where they go.
Yeah, the way that they already have 3 people positioned already in the bedroom, it's going to make it very difficult for them to go ahead and rotate all the way over to A. I think the best option for this is to go ahead and try to pretend like you're doing a full commit over to B, and maybe do a little rotate action, a little flank action over on A. However, they got the little noisemakers and stuff over there. They got the Drips doing a bunch of damage over onto the Rizzler. So yeah, they're already prepared for this. They're already aware that they're going to be doing this kind of push. And we see a nade come out and does get a pick on the Rizzler. Rizzler was low, so was able to easily get that pick, even though if they were technically out of range for that. And yeah, leaving this into a 4v4 situation, still into the advantage of Knights of Jerky. They're looking very good right now. They have no more grenades or util to flush these people out of those spots over on A site. So really, all they have to do is just kind of tuck away and hide and just play by ear. They're able to already get 1 pick, 2 picks. Mods to getting another refrag of their own. They have EMP down. It's a 2v2 situation. They have to play retake here, and they're spread apart. So they're going to be doing 1v1s on both fronts. And Zay was able to go ahead and get outside and solidify that post plant. Rez swinging out and getting 1. They know where the last person is on window. Dark Raven is probably going to be watching that window and does get the person on that window, solidifying the win for Knights of Jerky as they go ahead and get this defuse off. Beautifully done, well executed by them, and as they go ahead and celebrate their VRML Week 4 win.
Ooh, man, that is a good showing from the Knights of Jerky. We'll still play this one out. I mean, it's literally just, I don't mind it. It's just one more round if you don't mind, Gravy. One more round, to kind of play this one out. But I will say, for any other viewers still kind of watching around, this is Knights of Jerky's game because bare minimum at this point, they win out the tie, right? So they have a tie on map 2, a tie on map 3. They're the only team with a point, right? They have the map point on map 1 because they won that map out. So that means in this series, because it's the best of 3, Knights of Jerky wins this one out now, having secured the 6th round on this map 3. But I will say, they could still just win it outright too, and it's 2 points instead of just 1.
Yeah, fighting for that MMR.
At this point, they're fighting for MMR. They got the win, and Extinction at this point is trying to minimize any MMR loss, and or just playing it out for just because they want to. So here we are. But I thought you say something.
Oh, I said, well, yeah. Why not?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, here we are coming into the upcoming round. Looks like we're seeing a very interesting push here from the Rizzler, going deep on the bottom, going aggressive on that staircase. We'll see if Monaco is prepared for that staircase here. I don't think they are, as Rizzler coming in. Never mind, they do see them. As they unfortunately poked out a little bit too much for the players there. As Extinction now trying to get in on this garage space, but they haven't been able to get any. Never mind, as they just got the pick. Wow, I love, I love saying things and you know, it's invalidated a second later.
Happens every time while we're casting, and I've noticed to agree with you on that. It is the caster's curse.
You know, I still laugh at when I think I had someone in the chat. They're like, "Why does Martini always say never mind?" And then they watch one of my casts and they're like, "Oh, never mind," because so much stuff changes. It's because you're making a statement, and I have to be correct, right? Things are changing literally live. So I'm going to say never mind. That situation that I just described has fully changed and things have developed. And just right here, you know, Extinction, they played a little bit, I think, aggressive or too far with their EMP, as they just got to pick off and they have to go all the way to the other side to retrieve that and waste precious time on this push.
Gizmo is playing this piano room area very, very well, already getting 2 picks of her own. And still holding that down as well, and realizing that there is still one more outside, leaving the only other 2 players really committing to sight. And an S tier nade from X-Guy does take out Resmi Chris, but does get refragged by Dark Raven. And another pick coming from Numbskull, leaving this into a 1v3 situation, all up to Rodzi, as Numbskull goes ahead and swings and gets the pick off on Modzi, and even more solidifies this win for Knights of Jerky.
Yeah, regardless of that tie, as we were just talking about, they won this outright anyways, so it is 2 points, you know, for the Knights of Jerky players. Unfortunately, Extinction not able to come out with a map win on any of these maps, but I will say again, Dam was a tie. And it was, you know, 6-6, right? But still good showing. And the community votes are probably feeling really good right now. I mean, it was about 22 to like 4 or 8 or something like that for the Extinction players. So the community definitely voted in the correct here, as Knights of Jerky did finish this out. And I will say credit to, I think it was Dr. Jimmy or whoever was in the chat, as they said, you know, Knights of Jerky just locks in by map 2. As we saw here, they played arguably better, I think, against the Extinction players on map 2 and really locked in by map 3. Yeah. Right, they got the 5th, they tied it up, and then they got better by map 3 somehow, you know, on that hideout, and they really shut them, not somehow, but they just, you know, happened to get better and really shut them down there. But anyways, that is going to be it for us today. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Triangle Factory, one of my personal favorite sponsors. I know I waited till the very end, but there's a lot of action, you know, kind of going back and forth with these 2 teams. But shout out to one of my favorite sponsors, Triangle Factory, for providing us with the game we love and for supporting Season 3 of VRML and contributing into the cash prize pool. And again, a great shout out to the creators on the team, the moderators on the team. You know, if you ever want to get involved in what we do behind the scenes, that is, you know, creating content, casting with us, helping with moderation. We're always accepting applications for more volunteers. Please check out the Discord server if you do want to sign up, as people do. We do take applications all the time, and I love having more people on this casting team. As you know, Gravy was an addition this season, and I love having Gravy on cast. Definitely a great time, but that will be it for us today. Thanks for coming out and watching another VRML Breachers cast. We appreciate seeing you all here today. And of course, remember to subscribe and leave a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. And last thing, if you ever have any cool clips, any POV recordings that you do have, send them to Gravy. He's always trying to make, sorry, Gravy's on the other side of the screen. Send them to Gravy. He does, you know, make that weekly highlight clip. It's very useful if he has that POV. I think, do you prefer the POV from the actual player when they get those 3 or 4Ks?
Nope, not one or the other. I just like whatever personally looks best. So if the caster didn't, Martini catch a very good clip.
The 4K.
You know? So then I'll realize, you know, I'll watch it back and like, oh, there was, you know, quick 4K right there. You know, like I'll message that person and be like, hey, send me that POV. I need that. So yeah, I'll get what I can take.
Yeah, so if you ever get a cool 3 or 4K in any of your league matches, please don't do random scrims or competitive matches. These are VRML, you know, clips of the week. But check, you know, send them over to Gravy. He will definitely take those into consideration and potentially put them into the highlight reel of the week. But anyways, that will be it from me and Gravy tonight. We'll see y'all hopefully in the next cast.